Hello, welcome to another Theory Thursday. Today we are looking at one of the most popular harmonic progressions of all time, the blues form. You may have heard people say, let's play the blues. This song is in a blues form. I want to play a song that uses blues. It's a blues. It's all the same thing. This form is a 12-bar form, and it has stood the test of time. It has a very deep history, and I'm just going to be able to gloss over it today because I can't cover everything, but very deep history within America and slavery and where it comes from, the work songs and spirituals. So that's what we're going to go over today. I got my gray tweed tie on and my Casio Duro, or some people call it the Marlin dive watch. And that's what we got going on today. So, and at the end of the video, I'll play all the forms so you can hear them, and that'll be at the end. So, yeah, let's go to the whiteboard. Hello, welcome back to another Theory Thursday. As you know, today we are talking about the blues form. What is it? You've probably heard of it. You've probably heard of the genre, the blues. Let's go over it. Let's talk about it. So, first of all, I'm going to write this out. So, these are measures, and you can read them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? 12 measures. That's why it's often referred to as the 12-bar blues. Okay? Excuse me. Ooh. Marker's too thick to write these small numbers. Or my handwriting's just bad. So, anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's just 12 measures, and this is the blues. So if anyone is at a jam or at a songwriting convention, or you guys are trying to write a tune and someone says, let's use the blues, this is what they're talking about, okay? It deviates a little bit depending on style and really just personal preference and the history behind it, but this is the main form. This is the base form of the blues, and it can deviate from here, okay? So a little bit of history about it, and I wrote this down, so I'll just read it from here because there's a lot. So it originated from a combination of work songs, spirituals, and early Southern country music. So this is a traditional American genre. We only have a few of them: the blues, and of course, the birth of jazz, bluegrass, of course, classical and gypsy jazz, and all that is European origin, right? So this is a genre that we have the claim to fame for coming up with. So originating from a combination of work songs, spirituals, and early Southern music, it was passed down in oral tradition because people either couldn't write it out or they weren't allowed to, right? Because we're talking about slaves here. It was first written down by African-American composer W.C. Handy, and he would later on have an orchestra, and he almost exclusively played the blues with his orchestra. This form would lead to the popularity of blues singers like Bessie Smith, Ma Rainey. This style of music was later on called rhythm and blues. Today, we know it as R&B. So it's really shifted a lot as the decades have gone on, right? When you think R&B, you're not thinking of blues anymore. You think of a lot of other stuff, but that's the origin of it. So that's a very, very, very brief history. There's a lot more, and it goes way deeper into what this style and genre and form actually meant because of where it came from, work songs and spirituals, and where those originated from, right? There's a very, very deep meaning behind all this that I can't possibly go into. This, of course, from my own experience. So that's the nickel version of it, right? Okay. So let's talk about some different iterations of it. First of all, if you have your real book handy, or if you just want to search, Here are some very popular songs that use the blues form. And at the end of this video, I'll play through all these iterations of the blues. So you'll hear it right at the end of the video. C jam blues. Okay? So like I said, this is the bass blues form. Now, over the years, people have made changes to it. They've subbed some chords out. So the first change is you can change this chord to a 4 chord. So it'll go 1, 4, 1, 1. And that's known as, I'll put it up here, the quick 4. That's what that means, right? So that came along. After that, this also got changed to a 4. And what is known as a shuffle blues. All right, so that kind of works because it goes 4, 4, 1, 1, 5, 4, 1, 1. So it's kind of a nice walk down to the 4. The 5, 5, 1 works great because, of course, the 5 is a dominant chord. Can be if you make it 7. But the 4 is a nice walk down, down to the 1. Okay, and then the last huge change came with this chord. Okay, also got changed to a different version of a 4, right? So we sharp it. It's a sharp 4 chord, and it's diminished. And this is called the bebop blues. Okay, so for example, if we're in the key of C, it'd be C, 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 F, F sharp diminished, C, C, G, G, or F, C, C. Okay, so it's just the 3 chords unless you throw in this bebop blues change, which is the sharp 4 diminished. So because it's only 3 chords, the great thing about it is it's really universal and easy to transpose to different keys. So if I'm on the bandstand or something and someone calls out a blues that I don't know, it's okay. Just give me the key because I know the blues form. It's one of the very first forms that any musician learns when they're diving into the jazz realm because it's so common. And I don't want to say easy because of the stuff that spawned out of. I mean, this is really based. This was the ground floor of what everything was built upon. But I'll say this: easy to understand, which is why it makes a great beginner form to learn and memorize. So 1, 1, 1, 4, 4, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, easy peasy. So let's go listen to it. So first I'll play the traditional blues, which is 1, 1, 1, 4, 4, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1. Right? And I'll play it in C. Tell you what, I'll play it with regular triads first, and then I'll throw flat 7s on it, because that's a big part of the tradition, and that's what it'll sound like. So, normal triads first, key of C. That's the regular blues. I threw a flat 7 in there just to get to the 4, but and traditionally all the chords have flat 7s on them, which is where we get the blues improvisation trick, where if I'm in the key of A major has a C sharp in it, but if I'm playing the blues have flat 7s, as tradition requires, the D7 has a C natural, which is the flat 3rd of an A. So what gives there? There's a blues scale that that you can use. Doesn't matter if it's major or minor, it's going to work. There's no major or minor with the blues scale. It's just the blues. Okay? So that's why that works. And it's a common scale for beginners to use because it has so many uses on it. And it's really, really, really closely intertwined with the minor pentatonic. Okay? We'll get to that to another video. But that's why that works, is because when you add dominant sevens, flat sevens to all the chords, like they do in tradition, you get that flat 3, and that's why you can that's why that worked. Okay, so anyway, back to what we're doing. Original blues form, here's with the sevens. Key of C. Regular blues form with all the added flat sevens. So let's look at the next one. It's called the quick 4. So it's going to be 1, 4, 1, 1, and then the rest is the same. Okay. Quick 4. I'm just going to keep stacking these on, so we'll hear all of them at once. So next I'm going to do what's called the shuffle blues. In the last line, where usually it's 5, 5, 1, 1, I'm going to go 5, 4, 1, 1. So in total, I'll go 1, 4, 1, 1, 4, 4, 1, 1, 5, 4, 1, 1. Here we go. Okay. Last change, the bebop blues in the second line, where usually it's 4, 4, 1, 1. We're going to go 4, sharp 4 diminished, 1, 1. Okay. Also another, this isn't doesn't have a name to it, but at the end of the form, if you're going to just keep repeating it like blues songs usually do, you can replace that last one chord with a 5 chord. So I'll do that this time as well. But that doesn't have any special name to it. That's just a turnaround. 5 goes to 1. So we're going to end this with a 5 if we're going to repeat it. So in total, the last form here, I got 1, 4, 1, 1, 4, sharp 4 diminished, 1, 1, 5, 4, 1. I'll play a 5 to do the turnaround. All right, here we go. And it goes on and on and on and on. So that's the blues. Very, very, very brief overview of the blues. There's a lot more history to it, a lot more tradition to it, really, and it is really the groundwork for most of the Western music we have today, especially on the American side. Anything that was built in America, I'm looking at country music, jazz, it's really started with the blues, turning into R&B, and then on from there. So, that's that. A lot of info. I think that'll do it today. Thank you for listening. Hopefully you learned something, and we'll see you next time. Bye.